Hello, hello. Finally, I'm back. So, this is the series that we played against Bulldog. So, not this weekend, but the weekend before in Nottingham. I just want to go over it like normal. We're going to review it like normal. So, if you have any questions, do let me know. Let me make this full screen. I think that's the best way for you guys to see it. So, we're looking at drafts. Then we're looking at game just like normal. I've got the draft saved, and then we've got the ruffle file for the game. So should be all good. Do let me know if there's things that need to change or anything like that. It's been a while. Feels like it was a bit strange to set up again, but we'll just get straight to it. So game one, sorry. This is me being much better, by the way, than I have this whole week. Yeah, we went for, let me just remember exactly what we were doing. So against Exafang, the priority was playing with the AD carry pool, because not only does he look like a very strong player, he's also got a bit of a weakness in the AD carry pool, and they didn't play Corki or Ash, which means that if we start to pinch it, it's just going to give us a better advantage. So we were never going to let Callista go to the opponents. Obviously, we were never going to let Draven as well. Those are the ones that everyone's done. But for us, we wanted the first game to be played around this Callista pick, especially as his Varus has been maybe not quite so comfortable in the past. So they instant answer with the Varus and the Pantheon. Here, we were still thinking like if Pantheon could go somewhere else, but I think it's just better to assume it's jungle with these flex picks. You assume it's the most likely one, and then you just keep in mind it can be somewhere else. So, same thing happened in the finals, of course, with their hidden picks. But for now, we just lock this combo in as well. You'll have seen if you watched us play, we were not good at this combo. And we've only tried it once. And I don't think actually we've ever, including this game, done this combo. And the whole point is it's super easy. You both just press R and someone gets one shot. So in the end, actually, the ball went on to Alistar a lot more often in this game. But very happy with this draft. I think no one's good enough to play Ambessa in the West, to be honest. So I'm really not scared of Ambessa on 3 here. And even with a ban on Ambessa, I think we would wanted the Jax already. So it was going to be Jax, I think, was our first choice. And then it was Camille as well. And Nara, I think, might have been one, but maybe after the other two. This is one of the downsides of doing this ban and ban. We did the same. I don't really like this Lilia ban. It was our first draft on stage. And like I say, I think at this stage, you just assume it's jungle, but they could play something in AP jungle. Because unless you can ban all the AP junglers, like Lilia and Zyra and Amumu and anything else that you play that's AP, I don't think Lilia is that big a problem. I think it just gets completely one-shot by us, and we hadn't even picked the rest yet. So if this was like Lilia, then you'd be fine. So it ends up going Ari, but still quite like the the draft. I think most of the games in this series was very happy with. The second one, completely happy with. The third one was a bit more like equal. So let's get into the game. Probably won't spend all that long on it, because as you can probably hear, I'm not completely better or anything like that. So got 4 games to get through. I think the first one and second one, I think, and the fourth one actually, they're all quite one-sided, but we do manage to slow them down a lot in the one where we fell behind, which does happen quite often against these kind of teams that are a bit more like ERL level teams. You see the same with people playing against Lost Returns. Like if you beat them, it takes ages. And if they win, they can just roll you over. So we do play the lane swap. We'd analysed their games, and they didn't lane swap very much. So in the 9 games before this, like the 2 best ofs, there was 2 lane swaps. One was initiated by Ruddy, and they absolutely smashed them. As in Ruddy smashed the lane swap. And one was initiated by Bulldog, and they did it really not very well. So we saw it as a a bit of a weakness that we could play with. The fact that they weren't going to be very comfortable in the swaps. So that's why we're already going for the swap, even though, you know, Ambassador's maybe better than Jax even in the swap, but still it's like team-wise better for us, we thought going in. But pretty much a trade. Now we can play with Alistar level 2. Lane pushing away from us, which is not super ideal, but still fine. Teleport back to top lane. We get one roam timer around mid. We knew they were just going to desperately try and punish in mid. I mean, this flash was like completely cooled. Noah just thought he was going to be safe, I think. Yeah, like we come to ward for him and he still gets the flash trade with us when there's going to be a Pantheon. So I think they only managed to get it once, but we knew they were just going to like sit mid. And teleport top, pick up the first blood, it's really big. Oh, okay, still being a bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Now, Nautilus does have flash down, so that's part of the trade you get. You're always going to be vulnerable to this kind of situation. But it feels like it's been so long since I've done any of this, even though it's just been a week. Sorry. Okay, so we're swapping for the grubs. Already the game is in a good spot. Not the best, because we do have this massive hole in mid where there's going to be like RE6, Pantheon 6 before Flash comes back. So that's always going to be something to be scared of. But we prefer the grubs, I think, in this kind of game. They go dragon. We go grubs. We want to go early grubs and then just stack dragons, basically, to force them to then come into us later on. But Jax with some grubs early is always going to be good, especially when he already picks up that kill. And they get a plate for it, but that's about it. So charm lands, chunk happens. We have people around mid. We know they want to come mid, but we also want to play around mid, but with that chunk as well. So this is like just frustrating. Like this chunk costs you this fight as well, because everyone knows this is coming. They know this is coming. We know this is coming. But if he's higher HP, I think Eric can tank the charm, and then we can actually look to turn it. But when he's already like third, it's already going to be difficult. But still, Callista's starting to hit spike. Don't really know what X-Fang's doing there. Charm being thrown means that Freddy can come back to mid lane. But it's both summoners as well. So no summoner's gone for us, but both are summoners. Like, this is really... Oh, this fight, we wanted this one. I think this should go much better. Okay, the fear breaks. Flash forward. But it's triple knock up. And then the back part goes through there. Yeah, I think they're just a little bit of a... It's like the first skirmish on stage, you know? Like, it's... Still ends up being, I think, quite good for us, but... It could be better. Ahri 3-0, but it's going to be very difficult to play Ahri, I think, versus this kind of combo that can just jump on you. But that'll be the only problem, right? That's the only thing you need to track in a game like this now. Bot lane is really going well. Jungle is fine. It's a bit more of a setup, and then mid lane will be the one to watch out for. So if Ahri's not there, or if Ahri gets blown up, any fight should be good. So here we got the first grubs, which means they have to commit for the next ones, but we know that it's coming, so we're already clearing away from them. We're going to get full pressure on bot side. We're going to crash a big wave into the tower. This dive actually I don't really like the way this is done. We we can crash this whenever we want, and we're trying to crash it. It looks like we're trying to crash it fast, but then because okay, we dodge her ult now. I think it would be much better for Treats to tank this, and the TP I think was just completely unnecessary. But Ahri does come as well. Oh, we see Ahri, that's why we TP down. I think you can just keep walking. Has Alistar here, you get behind, you just W backwards, not like combo. Okay, he's just going to flash it. But the fact that he can flash both the Fear and the Alistar W ends up being a bit of a problem. But it's very difficult to die the Jax at this stage. He's going to walk forward and tank the wave. Yeah, and now that's a shutdown. And a bunch of plates. And Ariel gone. So it's just really hard, right? You get a combo into Oriole. We don't get the dragon though, which is a bit frustrating. So the gold is in a really good spot, but we'd much rather have the dragons to force them to come to us later. And that would be making everything completely chilling. The best on Ambessa. The thing with Ambessa is the team fights, you make one wrong decision and you're useless. That's why it's always, I think not a big, it's just such a high execution pick, I think, in competitive. Okay, so we play top, they play bot, but we've already got that one tower on bot side. So we get 2 towers top, and then from here already, the game is super hard. Sorry, I'm a bit more ill still than I thought I was. Finding it really hard to focus. So ask, if you have any questions, ask them, because from here already, the game is just super hard. For Bulldog, gets 3k gold lead already. And then they've used so many tools, I think we even actually can play this fight more, I can't remember. Whew. As we crash a wave in top. Bot, sorry. And the Cliss is just so strong at this stage. 2 items. Upgraded boots. He tries to use the thing to get out, but they have to just super hard commit on one area, and because of that they lose on like the other sides. So they lose a flash, and now they're just kind of surrounded. Even though we don't have this one was a bit silly actually, yeah. So we don't have Orianna because this is really silly to be pushing up here. Just run backwards now. Just all run backwards together. Instead he goes for the thing so that he dies. So now we want to play this 4v5 or 4v4 until Matek gets in. Yeah, we talked about this after. Like, if Matty instantly flashes over, actually might be good. But I think either way he dies, actually. Flashing back wasn't a big deal. Hey, Quicksilver. Thanks for follow. So, fight ends up being a bit sketchy. A lot more than you'd want to, but this is the problem of like now we want to feel like we want to fight on all these timer windows. So it's just really messy, and this happens I think a lot in the like first stage game. You know, you're getting used to the setup. The early skirmish was not very good, like we saw. Both teams are a little bit just scrapping. But we should be coming out with a decent advantage now. Actually, it's a lot more tense than I remember it being. I don't remember being at all worried in this game. I mean, we do have a 4k gold lead, but we're letting some weird windows come through. Like we just mistimed Ario, I guess. Because you just get one shot again. So they get the mid tower, but we can use that the time they do that to get Atkan. Oh my goodness. So now we've got the false life. We just play super hard on one side, and it's really difficult for them to do anything. Oh my god. I can't focus. Okay. So still a few like silly deaths. That's the main one. As always. Always our problem. Silly deaths cost us game 1 and game 3 against Lost Retones. Whereas here we are dying stupidly, but we still get more. Can't remember this sequence. Yeah, they commit top side. We run up, but we're just, again, we're like, everyone's in base. Everyone's basing while we're standing up to hit a wave. So we're hitting a wave on this side, while we're also hitting a wave on that side, while we're also basing. Like everyone's basing and we're catching a wave really high. So it just lets them like collapse here for free, and this is just so bad. Just wanted to see, are we able to do the Ori trick here? Ori Nocturne combo? We could if we stepped up and then E'd Nocturne now and then pressed R, then this guy insta dies. But instead we just get Nautilus. Boom, 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 he would die. Yeah, okay, we're just ahead. And even then it's close. Do pick up the wave though. And both are sums, so next time we just don't even try this Nocturne Ori thing. Okay. Yeah, and then from there, that's kind of game over. I think this is just better individually, I think. And I do think the draft is better as well, but... Yeah, we tried that. He did that after we scrimmed with it. But you just press R. You just press E and R. As he's flying, you just press E and R. It's one of the like kind of foolproof type ones. But we should probably have just gone into practice tool. It's taken 2 minutes to go into practice tool and just do it 5 times, and then you'll get it right every time, I think. But we didn't. It's one of the dangers of being doing it all like part-time and stuff, like these little things that are just like just takes like 5-10 minutes, but you need people to actually be free and not be doing other things. We have Ali though, so the game still was never really in doubt, but there was still a lot of sloppy mistakes that we didn't need. That middle team fight could have gone any other way. No, maybe not, but should have been like an easy wipe for us, but because we played it kind of badly, we then had to play well on the back end. No, I didn't watch that one. I watched the first game, and I watched the first game of the TS one. Yeah, I mean, you know, on stage it's always different, but it shouldn't be particularly difficult, I would say. Okay, that's game 1. So game 2, this one, for me, I was very confused in this one. I don't know why this Swain on 5 seemed to be like a shock to them when they play Swain. For me, this is like really hard to lose this draft. As soon as this Aurora comes in, we were already talking about Swain like at this stage. Like we were saying, what is he going to play in mid? And they were saying he'll probably play Aurora next. Okay, if he plays Aurora, like Swain on 5 is unbelievably broken. And the fact that they banned Victor instead. And again, it's the same thing here. Like if you're going to ban Gnar, like this NORD ban, I think, does almost nothing to the top lane matchup. So I think if you're going to ban NAR, you have to ban 2 tops. But even then, if you ban NAR Camille, you've already banned 2 more tops here. If you ban NAR Camille, yeah, I think that's better. But really, it should be Victor Swain, I think, his bans. And then we get NAR, but that's okay because this Swain is unkillable, I think, here. In a competitive game, like in solo queue, okay, maybe Kai'Sa gets 20 kills and then she can just one-shot you. But this one was like so difficult to play for them. Let's see the game though, because so I think this one was actually like, as far as I remember, gameplay-wise, it was like it wasn't as big a gold lead, but it just felt impossible always. So let's see. On the other side, stay cold. The AC was on really, really strong on the stage, and everyone was freezing. So we get flash and first blood without taking anything as well. Yeah, I think this game was kind of, yeah. So they lane swap. Lane swap was good for them, I think. But we send treats top lane very early on. And mid lane dies 1v1 as well. That's just a nightmare. Hey Rapsoy, thanks for the follow. So, we want to reset in bot lane. Try and get that tier. They want to swap because early on, like Ezreal is just going to stack up his Qs and then it's really hard to play in the bot 2v2, and also Cassante does better in a lane swap than Camille does. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this had me a bit nervous. We have some biscuits, but look at biscuits, Doran's and stuff. By the way, look. Like, oh, he's dead. He's gonna have to flash, and then you're like, wait, now she's got quite a lot of health, and then you keep going. You're like, actually, he's got like 300 health. Absolutely wild. Now he's half HP. Skarner comes top lane. Oh, we talked about this. Did we talk about this? The same thing sort of happened. We're coming top to play. We want to play towards the grubs. But I think we just have to go through top lane here. Like if we win this 3v3, then we have to be in top, not near top. Yeah, that's quite cool. Are they, yeah, because their percentage, they scale up well, right? That does seem to make a lot more sense. So we lose the grubs and we don't get a good trade because we were also on the top side. So that's an important window. Like, that's a big mistake. We take enemy red, take enemy golems, but it's not enough. Now we want to push and invade. Now we can also take the dragon. So we get a very delayed trade for the grubs, I guess, but not because of what we did. So like I say, the game is kind of closer. But I just don't know what their comp really does into this. Like, look at this. He's just chasing. He's just chasing like 3 people away. tough. Because it basically, like, low damage comp is not very good into Swain and also not very good into Ivan. And the combo of both of them is difficult. And he just chases two of them away again. They do get his ult. Yeah, it's. I think this is why I was a bit very confused. Is it? I feel like you get this Swain pick against people who don't play Swain, but Cayman's got really good Swain and they've used it well. Like they even had one of the other good Swain drafts that I've seen was Bulldog's first time pulled it out. You know. But I think maybe when you're on stage and you're partway through the draft and maybe it's not happening how you thought, you didn't think you'd be playing with Skarner maybe. Don't know. Just too many things to think about. But Gnar as a ban for me is always a ban where it's like you don't know what you want to do. And splitting your bans coming into the second phase for me is very rarely the right thing to do. I know we did it as well, and I include that it was not the right thing to do when we did it. Okay. Okay. I think we're just too slow to do anything on this dive though, right? Because Swain doesn't quite have ult. And the E misses. Yeah, we just go way too deep. Now Swain's ult was run out. He just gets pinned down. Just really silly. Really silly, but it's still going to reach a point where I think I would be behind in this game and still think we're going to reach a point where it just doesn't matter. But being even is... Oh yeah, what happened in this fight? That didn't go well, right? It almost went insane. So we have Redemption, Ryleys. Oh yeah, Daisy goes down straight away. We don't stack our CC properly on a Moo. Yeah. This is part of the game that's very strong for them. Ezra's got a mana. So we do chase him away and we get the dragon, but not a particularly well played fight. We didn't stack our CC properly. We had to use, like Daisy died before the beginning of the fight. We had to use like cooldowns keeping Leona alive, and then Swain died just. But it's still Moonstone, Manamune. You go Leandry's here. And a second item from onwards, I think it's too hard. So this is why like people talk about the fact that the gold is not that big a deal in a way. This game is even in gold. We've got dragons, but it's not even. Like you're about to reach the window where it's so hard to do anything. So they need to have more of a lead than this. Yeah, he doesn't go Fimbulwinter, I don't think. At this stage, the standard was just tier, and then you sell it later on. You just need it for the early mana until you're getting like blue buffs. So I don't think he actually builds it into anything. So I think it's tier Leandry's probably in this game. I'll talk about it tomorrow, but I really think we should have gone Swain in game 1 against Lost Returns as well. I think it's also really impossible to kill Swain. But yeah, these long fights, like they just don't have the damage. They get through Daisy and Ivan, and then that's just it. No one's killing Swain anymore, or before. You still need to go tanky on Swain though, because you can't. If you die, you don't take advantage of the way that you play. Like you don't take advantage of the reason that you're strong. So now Swain spacing, yeah, Leandry's and just sits on tier. Trying to think, like if I'm them, like what actually do you even try and do here? You can't play on side though. You have to just play like diving on someone. You don't have that much dive. Yeah, maybe this is the best you can do, but they do manage to kill the Swain. Yeah, so if this is the redemption lands. Swain will slowly kill. We wanted a carry top here, for example, because we have Ivan. So with Ivan, you need some front line, and then next you get some damage. So like this kind of draft is perfect for Ivan. It's like long fight. You've got Leona, which is like the best combo of tank because Leona W gives you so many stats that you can, your shields are just super high value. So here we went Jack Show, but if you go Heart Steel as well, it just gives you so much extra survivability. And then you want some sort of diving damage like Camille, because then as she jumps in, she's going to provide a lot more threat. And then Swain just loves the long, slow fights, and so having Ivan is really good. No, mate, but is it true that more scrims are going to be offline? Yeah, I think so. Basically, what we're going to try and do is still have at least one scrim a week that's going to be online. Sorry. Not offline, like as in it will be off stream. They're all offline. We're not doing stuff in person. So we're going to try and have a little bit more scrims that are of a higher quality. And the only way to do that in reality is to not stream some. So we'll have some days where we start scrimming earlier, which will allow us to play against better people, which will allow us to actually have better practice because we were just a bit too good for everyone who would scrim us. And we can't scrim lost returns all the time because we want to play against them in the final. So they do get the Swaim, but he's up in 20 with TP. And they've used a lot of resources. This, I mean, Treats just causes so much pressure here, and then gets a really nice engage with the Ezreal follow up. So even without Swaim until the end, just really hard. And now, like, even with a 3k gold lead, it's just like it should be pretty much unlosable from this stage. 2 items on Ivan, nearly 3 items on Ez. And it feels like it in the game, right? Like, Treats is like, I'm fine here. He's literally saying, like, I'm fine, as he's just like juking around with 4 people trying to kill him. Now we just go straight back in, still fine. Nice name. I'm so much better than I've been all week. This is the 10 times as good version of me. It's been fun. And just like the least engaged review. We win. Take out Atcan. From Bobby to a Sean. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do the Lost Returns review is tomorrow. And then I'm going to do a Q&A on Wednesday. Then Thursday, might do a pro review from first stand, or I might take a day off even, depends on how the rest of the days go. And then Friday will be the podcast. And as soon as I know things about next year, or next split, I'll tell you guys. I think this one's just much the same, isn't it? They have to use all their tools to kill someone, and then they just don't have anything left to kill anyone else. So they send loads onto Eric. Really nice to... okay, it's 45 as well. So it's a 45, and it's also a nice Aurora. I think game 1 was close versus Lost Returns. And I think game 3 obviously was close. Game 2 was a complete disaster. That was really weird. But yeah, the series was not close, even if some of the games were a bit. The first 20 minutes of game 1 and the last 20 minutes of game 3 were close. Yeah, and then they just run out of gas, basically. Okay, sorry, this is not what I had in mind for a review, but I'm finding it very difficult to focus, so we're just kind of watching the games. Anyway, that was game 2. Now game 3. This is the one that I wasn't happy with the draft. I do think actually we end up with a sort of 50-50 draft as opposed to some of the others, but So one of the reasons is that we gave them this rumble that we knew they wanted as soon as they banned the Ash instead. And we have the option here is we do another target ban, which at this stage was the Twitch. Target bans being just like a ban that doesn't affect us. There's no version of this where we pick Twitch in reality. So we just get rid of it, because if you ban something that we might play, then it can like impact you later on without you realizing. So it's always good to have a few like full target bans that you just know you can always pull out. But I don't think we get anything for it. So if you look at this any team, you say, right, they get Rumble, we get Corki and Sedge. Sedge not really being a power pick with this many junglers still. I don't think that's that good. But if you think about it, especially against Bulldog, they don't play Corki. So we give them nothing. We just ban Rumble here and they don't first pick Corki. So I don't know what they even would have first picked. Not going to first pick Twitch, are they? So if we were going to get Corki anyway, which is fine in Switch, and I literally said this in the draft, because we expected them to ban Rumble. But when they didn't, it's like, okay, well, why aren't we just banning Rumble here? I think we wouldn't gain anything, but we said, well, we have stuff into it. Maybe they already swapped. Maybe not, actually. I think they definitely went Rumble first. And then this does make sense as a 2-3. Let's see.
Oh, comment elle va, celle-là? Qu'est-ce que tu deviens?
Just doing the Twitch ad. Lower bracket grand final. That was 1, that was 2. Yeah. Yeah, they just picked in order. Because the other thing as well is that we couldn't go Casio here because we only had like 2 things into Rumble as well. So I just think we gained nothing really from this trade. I don't think there's anything that we got while giving them Rumble that we wouldn't have got anyway. So that's why I don't like it. I'm not opposed to giving people Rumble, but it just seemed like there was no upside. Other than we have a cool snow skin synergy. Was this one, did we just get really far behind as well? Could we just die for like no reason? That's my guess, having completely forgotten the game. Just because we always do. But yeah, I don't really like this comp. Could we go instead as well? Let me, I know I'm doing the draft still. The draft view. Could we have taken? So firstly, like I say, I think we're giving them Rumble for free, but let's pretend we had to. We go Corki Sedge. Because we don't want to go like Corki Zyra as well, that's the problem. Because the Corki, like the Zyra does mean that Corki can flex, which would be cool. But Rumble kind of comps can be very good into Zyra. I think if there was something else that we could go here, like Rel, for example, if we just done Corki Rel, then you do have the option of taking Zyra here. Or you can still take Gnar here. And then you can take... Because as soon as they go this, now Zyra, I think, works. I just think Zyra just works anyway, because it's just strong enough. Like, we're worried about them taking, like, long range and poke with the Rumble. But I think with Varus gone, Jace banned and Varus gone, I think they have to take dive. So also we could just go Corki Rumble. Corki Zyra. Which would have also worked better, I think. Because also you have Sedge with like full range. And this is not like 5th pick runs the game. I think Milio would have been better here. And just completely counteracts Seraphine and makes like buffs up the Corki a lot. But anyway. Nice healthy sounding cough. So now has some XP. And now Rumble goes to bot lane. Trying to get the Rumble on him. Level 1. We W to get the one shot on the wave. We're going to try and play on mid, but the mid 2v2 I don't think is winning for us, and it's just hard for us to play anywhere, I think, this game. And so we just come up and watch them take these grubs. We get a plate, deny a wave, but there's nothing really much we can do about it. So gold is even, but I mean, did we just win? We think we win front to back, or Tanks with the cleanse is good. Mexifang. Okay. Did Rumble get to that? Wait, Rumble was already there? We just don't see him this whole time? That is an absolute tragedy. Nice for him, though. You come bot lane, they swap to top and play for the second grubs. Now we die 1v1 bot. We lose all 6 grubs. Yeah, this is one of those cases where, like, okay, I think the draft is bad. At least compared to the other ones in the series. But also, we are just ridiculously far behind. And just dying like 1v1 and shit like that, so. We want to play with bot push. But I don't think this is a winning fight for us. Yeah, and honestly, from here on, it's like you're just trying to play sort of catch up. But I don't think we have the tools to really do anything. So we also die on the back end of that too. Oof. Happens. Yeah. And now we lose both side lane towers. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing like, we don't have any agency on the game anymore. Like, if we win, it's not because of us. But I think, to be honest, just from draft, that was what game 2 and 1 were a bit like. A bit in reverse for me. But yeah, I think... yeah, or at least playmaker. Yeah. Doesn't need to be engaged, like his Elise and stuff like that is also really good. I think he's insanely good when we can find a really good angle for an enchanter as well. Like there's some Soraka games that he's absolutely 1v9'd in practice. But that's when everything else is going well, you know? I mean, this sums up the game. He doesn't die, yeah. Whereas this is like Karma, which is not the best enchanter. Like if Treat's on enchanter, I want him to be on like a late game 1v9 scaling enchanter. Again, the same but reversed from last game. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what can we do in this game? We have to play front to back where no one gets charged down. And Syndra's scaled and stuff like that. Corki scales really well. And no one gets hit by that. But even then, Rumble. We could have gone like Blitzcrank on 5, for example. Always gives us a window. They can play on sides really easily. No one can stop Yone. No one can stop Rumble either. So they don't have particularly good siege. But don't think it matters. So we wanted to just try something to cheese it. But it doesn't work. They know they TP. You get caught on the way out. Kind of lucky only one person dies, to be honest. Then the next die, yeah, it's just impossible. Well, this series is basically just like, okay, game 1, we got really far ahead. And I think we had so many tools to just jump on them. Game 2, I think there was almost nothing they could do from draft. Game 3, I think there's very little we can do from draft. Now we'll go to game 4, I guess. The fact this game went so long, though, is a testament to how difficult players like Chachi and, well, everyone, but like Santorin and Treats can make the game. You just make it annoying. Like, it's just annoying to end. They're about to get a 26-minute Baron with a huge lead and all the tools that they could possibly want in the comp, and it still takes them 15 minutes. Yeah, Sedge early with no melees as well. I mean, she can still play with Gnar, but you're right, it's not like a super power point. And the thing for me is that we just don't have a power point. Like, what's the like lane where it's just like, oh my god, this runs over the game? Nowhere, that's where. Without understanding macro much, can you not match Syndra into Rumble and Overload on her side? Not really. It's impossible. It should be really hard to make any plays on Rumble's side. Always, even if he's not Giga-fed. Because you can always just one-shot the wave. And also Syndra loses 1v1 to Rumble on side lane as well, I think, still at this stage. And you can't overload without getting prio through somewhere or giving stuff up. So like for us, we don't win on sides, so the best thing to do is to try and flip fights for objectives. Like these kind of picks. Which it does rely on their mistakes, you know, you can't make that happen. You have to see that the enemy's overextended, you can't make them overextend. So we're just trying to like go for things, mess them up. Like mess up their timings, don't let them have like time for just like clean setups. Because that's always bad for us. I mean, we've got one. Like all of this, yeah, it's just so this is just so annoying to play against. Because I know because Lost Returners do the same thing. When you're ahead of them, they're just annoying and they're just in places that they kind of shouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. You're just flipping fights and hope the enemy fucks up. And both Karma and Seraphine are very much just like win more kind of champs. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like even from like 10 minutes ago, you know, like we have no agency. If we win, it's not on us. That doesn't mean you can't make it as annoying as possible, but it still requires something from the enemy. To mess up, or overextend, or stay too long, or whatever it might be. Then we steal the Baron as well. But we can't do anything with it. It just stalls for another 5 minutes. But it's not like we scale insanely well. The champs scale quite well, but the comp doesn't change. It does obviously now at this stage, like anything is winnable. Because Corki has a huge amount of damage. Syndra can one-shot people. Nah. Yeah. Not the best one. I was saying for the draft, Cal, firstly, we give them Rumble for free, which I hate. Like, we get Corki and trade, but who cares? And then secondly, I think we should just go the Zyra anyway, even though we're a bit worried about, like, Rumble building a poke comp, but without Jace and without Varus, I think it's okay. And if we save mid until counter, like, we can always have range advantage in mid as well. Like, you can't outrange Freddy with counter pick, I don't think. And we could have just put Corki mid as well, so it could have just been like Corki. Yeah. No, I just really didn't like when they didn't ban Rumble. I really didn't like just not banning it. Okay, this is the one fight they don't fuck up. No, they don't. Not as I remember. They play Lilia and stuff like that. And a Mumu. But not Zyra either. Yeah, okay. Now they got Soul, now it's like even less winnable. I'm just going to keep it. I'm not even going to slow it down. I'm going to keep it on ×2. So we only have to suffer it for another few minutes. Last game was fun though. Probably the next few days. Hopefully latest Thursday. I've just been so one-shot by this sickness. Like, I did so little last week. There was a time I was reading a contract and it literally took me half an hour to get through like a page. My fever broke a couple of days ago, so I'm so much better now than I was. But this is me so much better. Okay. Yeah, it's one last fight, I think, right? We get him, but we get his GA. That count? Okay, right. Last game. This one actually, like, what we ended up with the draft, I think was really good. I want to look at it again because I think this gets completely saved on the 4-5. Not saved, but like it goes from like, okay, this will be interesting to like, okay, I think this is one. And I don't know what happens if, yeah, because it could have just been an on draft, right? The GP, Thomas said afterwards, the GP matchup wasn't anywhere near as good as he remembered. So not actually that good, but you have Gangplank. If this is Zerath ban, I think you just play Victor. I think we would actually play Victor on. If they'd have banned Zerath GP, we would have actually just played what they played. But it's the same again, right? These split bans, I just am never as much of a fan. So we banned both the good enchanters left, means he has to play this. I actually think if we know we're going to go range as well, then we don't need to ban these because Lulu also does fuck all against this kind of stuff. She just also dies. But like this is not like, yes, with these you like have pressure to play, but with these you don't. So we can actually just sit back and just throw shit at them, especially at Jinx. Like it's a nightmare to play Jinx in this draft. Like what can she do? This I think is a bit weird. I know, very NLC. Like just blind pick Aatrox on 3 with 1 ban. I think if you're going to do this, you just ban either you ban 2 or like if this is Victor and Zerath, I think we still go range. It would just be 6 or something. Like it would be like the next worst for sure. Or it's Ornn and GP, in which case we take what? We go more dive and we take like Malphite or some shit. I don't know. Could have been. I know Perks played it against them. Yeah, a lot of Zerath drafts are Jinx torture. And GP as well. Oh my god. Yeah, I think this 4-5, for me, that makes it so that we're not even the ones who have to like play or like outplay them or anything like that. So I was very happy with the 4-5. I think these are just like a good matchup. I think Thresh, even blind, I think works fine. I don't mind this because Thresh is quite annoying against the enchanters. Okay. So yeah, I think not much I would change about that one, but I do think if they pinched us properly in the 4-5, it would be a bit harder. Yeah, but when he's feeling it, you know, like I'm never going to say no to that. Do that draft 100 times. I'm always giving him Thresh if he wants to play Thresh. And going into the draft, if he's already saying like, "Will I play Thresh if they play?" It's still not that much engage. Like it's some, and it's like fully committal. And there's no way to protect Jinx. So I think you'd rather play. I mean, it's not like the best thing to play Zerath into, but I think you'd rather play into Skarner than like. Zerath into like Jarvan than maybe into like Skarner even. Have you reviewed NORD vs LR? No, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I think. Although this has been so much harder than I thought, so maybe I'll do it on Thursday. Okay. So we go for the swap. Double range. GP can play the barrels. But they match it. Maybe. Kind of can't spend a whole week in bed though, so I did that already. Oh, sorry. Yeah, although I think I got it from Tamas, so Chachi was pretty ill on the weekend, which is a bit worse than me being ill. Because I think even though we have Jinx and even though we have Thresh and Volibear, I don't think we're actually like we can make loads of plays early. But I actually don't think we like need to, just because of this like Xerath and GP. I think range scaling, like if enemy doesn't have that much engage and you have range, it's I think that's like the best scaling that there is. You know, like that beats anything else in the later stages of the game. And Xerath just by himself is enough range to scale like insanely well. He's not going to have the same roster for Spring Split. No, it's already public that we're going to lose Treats. At least. Not the biggest fan of volley jungle. I like the volley jungle. I think by itself it does mean you have to do stuff. Notice you often leave mid 4-5 during pick ban. Yeah, most teams will have like some ones they take early and some they save for later. I don't think we leave mid necessarily more than others. Maybe we do. I'm not sure. I think from a like stats point of view, I think we take bot lane more than anyone else at the beginning. And then other than that, most people take jungle in the first 3, which we do too. Hey, thanks. My hair, thanks for the subscription. Or I'm missing hair, I guess. Again, don't really know how to say that, but thanks very much. Yeah, not even just for the transplant. Actually, have you seen those like clips of like I woke up in a Turkish hotel and it goes down to breakfast and everyone's got like the like after effects on their head? Maybe someday I'll do that. I'm not sure. I would prefer to have not lost my hair, but I don't know if I would ever get a hair transplant. Yeah, lean back scale, throw GP Ash Xerath ults on. Well, it's not even on anyone's head. It's just on Jinx's head every 2 minutes. Jinx's head every 2 minutes. Boom. And anytime like volleys flashes up, it's just flash. No, I know you were Poby before. I just mean I'm not sure. Like even then, I was never sure what to call you. So. Oh my god. I'm dying. Anyway, so we trade Grubbies for pressure on bot side and the dragon earlier. GP can just do the rumble thing. So that was much closer than it should have been. Because Aftershocks on cooldown or what? TP's back, full HP. No, Aftershock's not on cooldown. Oh, it's just because it stays stacked. Yeah. Still though, good dive. Because we blocked the Jinx ult, we were talking about it. we come down to protect. We get the flash. Did you just insta-die here again? I can't remember. Did we get the dive? Yeah, the dive. We used stuff a little bit early. They do play it well. It's a really nice flash as well. They put a lot of tools to do that, but they do get the kill. Yeah, I mean, we'll see it in some of the later fights. Do you know much about Emir Masters? Yeah, decent amount. I played in the first ever EU Masters with XL Esports. In our group was the super team with Origin, which was Expect, Insec, Froggen, Forgiven, Jesus, or something like that. And we were a 200 HP Nexus away from knocking them out. So we had in our group them, we had ClickTech, who were like 27-0 or something. We had the best team from Germany, and at the time that was a much bigger deal than it is now. And us. And we were like second place NLC, and everyone thought we were just going to get smashed. And then like everyone beat everyone in the group. And we needed, I can't remember who it was. I think we needed Origin to lose, but after 23 minutes or something. And then it got to 23 minutes, and then Origin were about to lose, and the Nexus was dying, and then Froggen, it was one of those things where he was playing Rise, and there was a screenshot, he did like 4k damage with an EQ or something, and just one-shot the entire, like 2 of the enemy carries. And then they almost killed the Nexus, but didn't quite, and then they ended up winning the game, so we came second in the group. So yeah, I didn't play, I was coaching. So Emir Masters this year is 3 different tournaments. The first one is like first stand. So it's short and sweet. It's just straight into best of 5s, I think. I think it's just like 6 days back-to-back playing, and then you're done. So you get knocked out, you lose. It's just single limb, I think. Fearless best of 5. So that's quite cool. And then basically each time there's going to be more teams. Then the next one is going to be, I think, probably like double GSL groups or something. And then the last one is a massive one where like loads of people are coming. But the thing that's a little bit frustrating, understandable but frustrating, is that they seed the tournament based on previous years. So NLC did insanely badly the last few years. Like it's just been a completely nothing region. It's been like the worst region. And so we've got the least seeds. And so, for example, the Italian league that only has 6 teams in now has more seeds. So in summer, I think 4 Italian teams are going out of 6. But that's because last year there were some good Italian teams, even though those Italian teams are now gone. So it's a bit strange, but you can't really do it any other way, right? They almost seeded the NLC like that, by the way. Lost Returns were nearly the 10th seed in NLC. And it was just like whoever did well. Well, favourites for Emir Masters. Let me look at who's even going. Emir Masters 2025. What's it called? Winter version? Who's here? Right. So big. I think they're the worst of pool 1. And then I think TCL probably. KCB did so much better than I thought. The thing with LFL, which is the same now as it was like for years, is that the best team in the LFL is not necessarily miles better than the best team anywhere else. but the 5th best team in the LFL is like basically as good as the 1st best team. So like the LFL rosters are just so stacked. So I really was not expecting KCB to win. Mainz is insane. Absolutely is going to be an LEC, if not by the end of the year next year. Obviously X is good. I think Slow Q had a big glow up. I think he's been better this split, although he was better last split actually as well, to be honest. Yeah. Their support is Korean and doesn't have a visa. He needs to go back to refresh his visa. So can't play. And then they've got obviously Bukata and Bukata and Mainter have played together a bunch. I think they've only won, by the way. Bukata and Mainter have 100% win rate together. They won LFL 2 twice, and now they've won LFL once together. 3 out of 3. It's not bad. So I think they're insanely good. I think Geek are probably the best out of Pool 2. Oh, Kia. Nice. I think Mako... well, okay. Here's what we'll do. Like, the teams that we've scrimmed, I think Lost Ratones are better than everyone in this tier. I think we didn't ever scrim big, so I'm not sure. I think Lost Ratones are one of the best teams in EMEA Masters. It's hard to not say like Heretics and like Rin Kaiser bot lane is not bad, by the way. And I do think Douglas is very good. Skeens obviously is good. But this wasn't the team that was supposed to win Turkey, right? Was it? Wasn't the one with like Photon and stuff supposed to be better? See, this is the problem, right? EC Japan are also insanely good. This is where this is what I mean. So like, I don't think KCB are necessarily better than Lost Heretics, but I'm pretty sure EC Japan are better than Barca. Like Barca are quite good as well. But my point is that like, what, Solari is 3rd, Galleons is 4th. Like Galleons would also do really well at EMEA Masters, I think. But honestly, Lost Ratones can do serious damage, which is good as well, because I hope they do, because that means that next year, NLC will get more. Yeah, last year was one of those times, yeah. But, okay, last year was a bit different because it was BDSA and they would have just been a mid-tier LEC team, and they're now all in LEC, every single one, because Kedui just got an LEC spot. So that's a bit unfair. And also that was Casey with Calist, where he was only there because he was too young for the LEC. So they built a team that was designed to win around him. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this game. I think Lost Ratones can do well at EMEA Masters, by the way, basically, if that's what's hidden under what you're asking. I think probably favourites has always got to be the LFL team, just because it's the LFL. But for me, her favourites are probably KCB, Heretics, then already maybe Lost Ratones and Supermassive, and then I would put EC Japan over like Big and stuff like that, personally. But maybe I just haven't been impressed with the Prime League, to be honest. But that's only because we've scrimmed a bunch of the teams who've done quite well there, and just thought, yeah, I mean, it does depend on the draw, and it's single limb, and like best of 5 and Fearless, you can lose or win on the day. Can be quite different. But okay, that was a bit of a sidetrack. Let's do this game. So we're saying actually the scaling is not. I don't think it's not like super difficult for us later on. But this is still a weaker time for us. But they just start to get loads of poke, and then we can zone them away with the GPL. Although not the highest value GPL. then one CC lands, and we just play all the fights ridiculously slowly. This one looked like it was going to be bad, but we just fuck with them. It's so annoying. And just, if you don't get on Xerath, you lose. So then we take this. And then from here, now it starts to get a bit more nightmarish for Jinx. Pretty sure the next thing that's going to happen to her, she's just going to get, like, jumped on. Or maybe it's after the next time. There's one time where she does something well and then just gets jumped on, then jumped on, and it's just an absolute fucking nightmare. So they get the grubs, which is not good, but not the worst, because it's not going to become a grub-based game because there's so much range. Really. We get the first tower for it, so probably still worth for us, actually, to be honest. Then we threaten him away again with the Rite of the Arcane. Now, not quite as good as Rumble, just one shot in the wave, but it does kill it. So we're playing on top side while their wave gets killed on this side. So they've got the grubs, but we still have traded up on the towers. Oh, this was really weird. They just super overdive here, don't they? Maybe they mistimed his flash or something? Because we kill one there, we almost kill one there, we get Jinx flash, and then that's now... The next 5 minutes is... Yeah, playing versus poke with low engage and also no protection. So we get tower and we get herald, and then from here the game is already like just kind of done. So like this sequence just really wasn't very good from them. After that team fight, they put way too much resources into the grubs and lose the full tower, and then we swap back and take the other full tower, and they try and play on GP, but we just ult the wave, and then they massively overextend. It's like 3 different. I mean, look, this is just like, what do you do if you're Jinx here? You can literally be Faker and it doesn't matter. Like in this comp, whoever you want, Viper, Ruler, whoever, is also just dying. Like you need other people, you need someone to tank it, you need like, I don't know. Even Tarm I don't think helps because you just have to ult the first thing and then you die to the next things. And now with Freddy jumping into towers because he's not doing that because he's safe. He's doing that and is safe. Yeah. Imagine if you swapped to ADC and this was your first game on stage. Never felt like you've had less agency on a game than playing Jinx at this draft. Maybe, but I don't think it shouldn't matter. There's just too many things. And now it's second ult Xerath. When it's third ult Xerath, like there's even more things. You'll die to like 2 of them and there's 5 or whatever it is. Plus the Ashe ult, plus the GP ult. We're literally just starting this to see like what happens and if they check it properly. I mean, you in this kind of comp with Jinx, like you want to be running at the enemy team. You want to get that first kill, and then you want to like run over the rest of them. So I don't hate Berserkers, but I don't think it changes much. And then we just play the fights really slowly. But it's hot. Like a lot of VRL teams, like okay, back in the day when there was no like ex-LEC players or loads of them. ERL teams would really struggle playing comps like ours where you have to go just really slowly. But when you're playing like against this caliber of players, like it's just, they just make it so hard to play. So like here, you just, like Centauran just doesn't, I've seen so many ERL junglers just like go here. We'll just play with them really slowly. Yeah, it's just, it's a dunzo, I think. Yeah, so this was actually like a really snowbally series. The one game we lost, I think, was lost fully after just a couple of really, really bad plays. First game we got caught out way too much, but I think we're still enough tools in the draft to punish their mistakes. And then game 2, I think, was kind of unlosable. Well, we've got a new team next split, so it will depend on that. The big thing for me is like caught out and dying randomly. And then other than that, it's just the things that all teams seem to work on, like fighting on our timers properly, not fighting on their timers, all that kind of thing. Like we'll see against Lost Returns, but I'm pretty sure in the first game, like we just pick a fight at the absolute worst possible moment and then all die. Well, as in like, we don't have the same 5. This is where Freddy was like so confused about the rel ult. He's like, I can't move. I keep being pulled back. Oh, okay. To be fair, he gets blocked on that, which is what puts him back into the rel ult. Yeah, Treats has got an offer from, I think it's public. So look on Sheep Esports or something. So closer than it could otherwise be, but that's going to be then Soul. And that's the thing about playing Jarvan into like Xerath, is that Xerath is so far away that you have to kind of EQ and ult to even close the gap, and then he just flashes and it would be done if he doesn't get blocked into the rel ult. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Where like, how do you play this? Okay, look. Your Jinx here. You've got no flash. This is what you have to play against. 1, 2, 3. And that's using the GPL for the volley bear, not for the Jinx. It's just very, very difficult. And that's kind of the end of the game. I think we get Baron off that. We're 2v4ing them up here. We're already just a bit silly. Almost gets another 2. And flash forward and get the Jinx again. It's just so hard. Then we're going to reset, come back out, one last fight. If that, I can't remember. Oh yeah, we just go way too far forward here. Jinx gets reset. But we still... Cool. Okay. So, I'm going to call it there. Very difficult to focus, but still good to get back to it. So thanks for joining. Tomorrow, same time, will be the game against Lost Returns. So those 3. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So if you do have questions about NORD, that's the time for those. I'll also do a little bit of a reflection on the split. And then Friday will be the podcast, and Thursday I'm not entirely sure as of yet. So thanks for watching, guys.